All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome, everybody. Hopefully you can hear me okay. We're back in WolfQuest here with Hurricane, and it seems like everybody is jumping in. Good to see you all. Hi, Cosmic. It's good to see you. Welcome to the stream. I'm going to go ahead and sleep here because Hurricane is very, very tired, and we're going to need some energy, and I think everybody's full of food. Yeah, we're good. Typhoon might need to eat. Typhoon can eat though. There's a carcass here if he needs it. Oh no, yeah, the time zone change. I'm still not used to it. When I moved here, I had to get reused to calculating everything because I was in Pacific time for the longest time, and that meant that whenever I had to do anything with anybody, I was always adding time to get their time zone. But no, now there's people who are in earlier time zones than me, so I feel that. Oh. That's not good. That's not good. Well. This could be a day. Oh, it's sunset. Oh boy, and she's down to 78 already. No! Alright. Well, how is the territory? The territory's not great. That's fine. This is wonderful. Alright, we are gonna need to head out and hunt and find food in marked territory. Oh no. Yeah, getting attacked by a bear because you accidentally went AFK is not good. I'm glad that at least you're able to reload that, because yikes. Oh, you moved from PST to EST. Oh man, that's even more than I'm just in Central. Oh gosh. Oh, yep. Hi, Typhoon. I know. Yes, I agree. We should go. Okay, he's gonna eat some of that. Are the pups all full enough on food? Okay, Stormcloud, you need to eat a little bit more, possibly. Honey? Honey? Let's please eat food. Okay, I guess they finished the carcass is why he's not eating. I'm just gonna make sure these guys are full, because they're full on affinity. And then we'll try and go get some food, try to find something for Typhoon to eat. I hear you, buddy. I hear you, buddy. I know. We gotta wait for the babies to eat. Hold on. Alright, they're almost done. Yeah, we have 3 pups, so the sicknesses aren't as frequent, but they're still there alright. Okay, I think everybody's good. Okay, I'm gonna send them in the grass here. See if we get that, that predator attack you guys have the prediction going for. Nope, I guess not. Alright. Let's get Typhoon. We're gonna head off this way. There is a herd somewhere over here, although we're not really following the herds anymore. We'll just head up here and see if we can find any babies on the way. That's good. Yeah. It's definitely, I think, a more convenient time for people than the much later one that we had, because it was late even in Pacific time. And hopefully it hits kind of that sweet spot of being nice afternoon/evening for everyone. Oh, goodness. Yeah, here's hoping sunset will be alright. We need to not neglect our territory. Oh, let's move this scent post a little closer, actually. Yeah, sickness is just the worst. Especially in real life, but it's pretty rough in game, too. It's very challenging because so much of it is dependent on RNG. Oh, that's mule deer. Okay. Ooh, McDonald's is good. McDonald's is good. Alright, let's go up here. Oh, yeah! Yep, they were too late in the year for there to be... That's a cougar. Too late in the year for there to be eagles. Also, while we're just running around marking things, we've got some exciting stuff coming up here to talk about. First of all, next month is actually September, so if you've been wanting to sub and you haven't, subs are not always cheap, but they're gonna get a little cheaper next month. And so if you've been wanting to sub but you haven't been able to, they're gonna be a little bit discounted for the month of September. So that is a really good opportunity both for supporting the channel and to get in on the next community event, because we have another one coming up. If you remember the first one, oh, we got a baby around here somewhere. Remember the first one that went up on YouTube a while ago? Basically what we did was we got the whole supporter Discord together, or at least a lot of us, and hung out in chat and in game for about an hour or so and tried to mark as much territory as we could. Well, we're going to be doing another one of those. And that'll be pretty fun. I think that's going to be coming up here on the 10th at 2 p.m. Central Time. Right now is the current plan. Hopefully we'll be able to have that happen, but did we? Oh, this is a new one we're claiming. That's why it's so low. Hopefully it'll stay at that time, but that's for now what we are planning. That's September 10th that we're going to be doing that. And if you do end up subbing early in September, or you sub this month, you'll have the chance to get in on that if you link up your Discord with your Twitch. You can also get in on that through YouTube channel memberships on the main channel or through the Patreon, as long as you're able to join that Discord server. Now, you won't be able to join the server if you're under 13 because of Discord's rules, but for anyone 13 and up, that is open. Yes, you do get a little bit of a deal on it in September, so that's always nice if you're looking to get in on the chat. We have some real fun times in the Discord server, and we've got some exciting new things planned that'll be starting up with that in the near future as well. Also, if we're looking at probably another Q&A coming up here, because it's been a few months since we did the last one. So if you're looking to support the channel and get some cool rewards in the process, that's definitely something you guys may enjoy, having the cheaper discounts for next month. And again, that runs through Twitch sub, that runs through YouTube channel membership, and it runs through Patreon. All of them have slightly different perks. They'll all get you access to the Discord. You get emotes if you sub through here on Twitch. If you sub on YouTube, that is mostly just the straight up Discord access, and then Patreon has some perks listed that are different. You can get a lot of different things. You can have the ability to vote in, or not to vote, but to suggest ideas for some of the wolves. You get that through all three platforms, actually. And that just runs through the Discord. There's a lot of different options if you are interested in supporting. And of course, it does help me keep doing what I'm doing here. It helps me continue to be able to do that. Aha! There's another baby. I was gonna go after the first one, but it was just, I was not able to find the area, so I think we'll look around here for a bit and then mark this. Oh, that's another cougar. Why are there so many cougars? My goodness gracious. 2 p.m. on the 10th of September is when the community event is going to be. Now, as a reminder, there's a limited number of space, a limited amount of space, because WolfQuest games only support up to 8 people, so there'll be a limited amount of space in-game. However, we do stream those into the Discord server, so even if you're not playing in the event, you still get to watch and commentate on the chaos and all of the boof spam that happens. All of the shenanigans and tomfoolery that occurs. Okay, this is an elk calf. This would be a good one to find. Now, the one disadvantage where we're stationed here is that it is difficult to spot these grass patches. So that's not so great about being up in the hills here, but it's fine. It is what it is. We'll work on it. Yeah, so with these community events, even if you miss this one, we're gonna try to be having a bunch of them at different times. So it probably won't be that we have one regular day that we do it at the same time, because we have a lot of people in different time zones. We have people in Europe, we have people in the Americas, we have people all over, and so time zones, what's convenient for one person is not always going to be convenient for another. So if you end up missing this one, hopefully there will be another one that's at a better time for you. We are planning on having more. In fact, there may actually be 2 in September if we can get them scheduled. So this would be a very, very good month to try to get in on this if you are interested in them, because we are hoping to schedule a second one later in the month, but we don't know for sure what the schedule is going to look like just yet. Well, speaking of subs, thank you for the resub. That was Genesis D. Thank you for that. And welcome back to subscription. It's good to have you. Alright, I'm not finding this elk calf either. Yeah, I'm not finding this elk calf, so I think we're just gonna mark the territory, move on, and try to find one in a more open area. Are we? Okay, this is... Actually, we didn't even need to mark this territory. What am I doing out here? I miscalculated, so our rendezvous here... Yeah, okay. That's great. I guess I'll poke around a little bit more, but I'm not gonna bother reinforcing this one then. Yeah, is this the same elk mother? Yes. You can see how much it blends in out here, though, is the problem. There is a lot of vegetation, so it's very hard to see where these patches are. Okay, up here, I think. Alright. Oh! Oh, we did find it. Okay, that works out. I'm glad we kept looking. Alright. Let's see. Yeah, with all the cougars, it wouldn't be surprising to have one show up and launch an attack. We'll see. Yeah, people all have different schedules, too, and I don't know for sure. We'll see what my schedule ends up being going into September. It's possible that that's a bear. That's a bear. It's possible going through September that my schedule will have some changes as well. We will see. Depends on a lot of factors that I'm not entirely sure how they're going to pan out just yet. So, I think Baby Ungulates may spawn extra competitors nearby if they're looking for it too. Huh. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure if that is a thing. I do definitely see them a lot when I am looking for a Baby Ungulate, but I also do just trip over them in the wild quite a lot too, and I don't know if that's just my poor luck or what. Outcalf said no, but stubbornness prevailed in the end. Oh my goodness, Hurricane's starting to go crazy. I think I'm just a little bit tired today, honestly. Oh, we're going into Prospect Peak territory again, but I do want to look for this baby. I think it might be more my own tiredness today than Hurricane, but Hurricane is probably fairly stressed today, all things considered. She does have a sick pup that she's really, goodness gracious, the territory crossing notifications. She's definitely eager to get back to Sunset, but we can't really do that until we've made sure we have enough food and the territory is going to be reinforced. So, yeah, she might be a little distracted as well. Oh no, yeah. Starting school definitely will wear you out. I hope that's going well, but, yeah, it's quite the undertaking. It's... Oh, was that an overlap? I heard the music stop and then restart. Sometimes I think it does that when you cross into a second area, but I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, school can definitely wear you out. It's been a bit since I've been in school now. I'm realizing it's getting farther and farther away, but, yeah. Also, we are looking, hopefully, to have some bigger premiere events on YouTube coming up here, too. I know the channel's been a little bit quiet. We're going to be getting back into that this week. And I've got some exciting new series that I'm looking forward to debuting. Okay, we're going to stop screwing around with this. The pups are going to leave the grass if we're not careful here. But I guess I'll eat this. Yeah, there's no harm in it. But yeah, we've got some exciting new series that are going to be debuting. I'm bringing back one that I think a lot of you guys may be pretty excited about. This is actually one that I get requested to bring back pretty frequently, and I've held off on it. I often will hold off on series if I'm not sure what I'm doing with them because I want to be able to put my best foot forward. I don't want to do a series and then just be... I don't know, mucking around, not knowing what I'm doing, not having a clear direction for it, especially with the story content. That can be... I'm just generally not satisfied with my storytelling when I do that. So I've been holding off on this game for a while because I haven't really known what I wanted to do with it for a bit. But I've had a few cool ideas that I'm really looking forward to sharing, and I think it'll be exciting to jump back in. It's an old favorite on the channel for sure. One that we haven't seen too much of for a little while. It's not a super new game. And some of you guys may be guessing at it. We'll see, we'll see. There's... No, that's not... I thought that stump was a mother for a second there. I was like, wait a minute. That the lock-on was a bunny that was near it. But yeah, so that'll be fun. An old favorite making a return, something a little bit different. You know, we all love our WolfQuest series, but there are a few other games that I've been, you know, they're great games as well. But oh, it's Mule Deer, okay. I've just not done as much with them for a little bit. And I think it'll be fun to make a return. So, alright, let's see here. I'm trying to read chat and look for a baby and not let the pups leave the den due to low affinity and all of these things at once. Okay, this is still here, so this is close enough. We ran right over this apparently and didn't even see it. Ooh. Lack of air conditioning is pretty dang miserable. Definitely, if you have to be in a school that's not well air conditioned, definitely be careful. Bring a little personal fan if you have to, because it's really important to stay cool and make sure you stay hydrated as well, because you don't want to be getting dehydrated in the heat. That's just icky. It's pretty miserable. Yeah, we'll see soon. Hopefully, if I dare give an actual release date estimate, hopefully, Lord willing, on Saturday. But I'm not 100% sure because it depends on scheduling, and there's a lot of things that have been in schedule heck for me right now. So, but hopefully Saturday. So keep your eyes out. Ideally, I'll be running a premiere event, and we'll be checking that out. Maybe some Minecraft as well. If you guys have been liking the Minecraft series on the second channel, the couple ones we've been doing, we've got some fun surprises coming up with that too. We'll be having more a universe soon, and maybe something else as well. I wonder what that could be. So if you guys are interested in that, and even if you haven't checked it out before, like, I definitely want to say, like, not to self-promo too hard, but the Minecraft series have been some of my favorites. Okay, I can't afford to screw around with this anymore because we need to get back and make sure the pups don't leave the grass here. But yeah, the Minecraft series have been some of my favorites, and I feel like they've had some of my better storytelling in them. So I'm excited, especially with some of the new content that's going to be coming up here. Definitely check those out if you have any interest in that, because I know it's pretty different from the WolfQuest series, but it's genuinely some content that I've had a really, really fun time with, and I'm really looking forward to getting to share more of it with you. Let's see. I don't know. No, I haven't heard of that Nexus. I have not heard of that. Yeah, let's... Sorry, I'm gonna infect you all with saying let's see constantly. I know I go let's see or okay. All of these little things I'm conscious of. And I never realize, like, how much I end up saying them until I go back and edit, and then I'm just like, oh my goodness, I could put a timer on this and it would... or a counter on this, and there would just be constant ones. I'm running around in this area because it is open and we're close. In fact... Typhoon, we're so close. Why don't you go back to the puppies here? Why don't you go back and make sure the puppies aren't going to get into trouble? And, okay, 60%. Not as bad as it could be without us being there. We'll see, I suppose. Or we'll see is another one, gosh. Yeah, the ungulates are good at hiding. That's kind of what they're made to do at this stage. They're very defenseless, and so that's why they hide. It is a good defense if they can avoid getting spotted. Now, we have to be pretty stubborn wolves about this because we need to eat, and these guys are some of the best food. Get out of here. But, yeah, we need to... Are you guys headed for my den? You better not be. Or my rendezvous site? You better not be. You better get. You better get. But, yeah, this is their best... No! You get! You get! You get out. Don't you go towards my rendezvous site. Don't you go towards my rendezvous site. Excuse you. Get out. I bet those guys are on their way to attack. They were heading right for it. Oh my goodness. I hope we're not close enough that they'll try and do it. Because I just want to find a snack. But yeah, this is their best defense at this age. They're not really strong enough to run away yet, so they kind of just have to hide, and that works out for a lot of them, but it does mean that they're a very easy little lunch when they do get found. Oh my goodness. This silly swears. Listen. Like, I am all for the use of silly words instead of actual profanity. Like, everybody has different views of profanity. Personally, I don't use it. But I just, like, there are some words that are just, the goofy ones are just absolutely superior. You do not get the vibe of them by cursing. I've had this conversation before, and I'm just like, listen, swearing just makes you sound angry. If you say accursed, suddenly you sound like a furious medieval knight. If you say that accursed bear, then you are hearkening back to the times of the ancient. It's hilarious. It has a vibe that you do not get by just using swear words. I will always be for the superiority of using alternatives. Whether or not you swear personally, it just doesn't have the same vibe. That's my 2 cents on the matter. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Everybody is going to point it out every time I do this evermore again now. Autocorrect. Oh, where are those heckers? But I think the one that I haven't used too much, but one of my tabletop groups laughs at is, it has both laughs at and has started to pick up, is get wrecked heckers. I haven't said that as much in the series here, but if at some point I ever end up playing tabletop on stream or on camera, which would be very fun to do, let me tell you, you're probably going to hear it, because I got the entire party to pick it up. Oh my goodness. Alright, let's see. Everyone who invested in coyotes might be correct. We'll have to see. It depends on if they're gonna show their faces over this hill or if they got scared by me going after them. Yeah, listen, heckers is just, it's a good word. It is, the vibes are impeccable. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm convicted not to swear. So I don't do it even off of YouTube. People sometimes ask me, is this just an act that I put on for the internet to be family friendly? And, like, I just don't do it personally either, because that's just what my conviction is. But I think, too, it just makes you sound a lot more angry, in my opinion. So that's another reason, aside from the moral conviction, that I'm not a huge fan of it, because I think it makes you sound a lot harsher. So, oh goodness. Oh yeah, sometimes they do attack. Sometimes they do attack when you're nearby but not at the rendezvous site. I don't know if they attack when you're far away or not. I've never had that happen. I'm not sure if it does or not. I don't think it may. I'm not positive. Oh, hello. Nope. Nope. Hecker, you had your chance. You had your chance to not. You had your chance to not. No. No. You had your darn chance. Get out. You had your chance to not get your tail bitten, and you didn't take it. It's not my fault. Alright, we are out of energy, which means that pretty soon here we're gonna have the companionship effect stop. Which is unfortunate, but there's not a lot we can do about it except for rest. Did everybody get enough food? Everybody's got enough food right now. Okay, we're fine on that. Yeah, I've had a few times when I've had to sprint when there was attack when I was near the den. Oh goodness. Yeah, ants do generate a great deal of frustration. Oh my goodness. I am so glad that I haven't had as many problems with ants out here. Okay, it's gonna tell us we have to sleep. I have not had as many problems with the ants, though, thankfully, and I feel very bad for everyone back where I used to live who's like, Jay, the ants, they're awful. I'm like, believe me, I know. I've dealt with this. I'm so sorry. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and sleep here. And see. Moose. Alright. Oh boy, I don't know. We really didn't get to spend a whole lot of time with Sunset, so I'm not entirely sure how this is gonna pan out. We do have a dream here. The random accent change. Yeah, I don't know where that happened. Oh, goodness, 25. All right. Maybe what we'll do is we'll stay up a little bit and see. We'll hang out here. Thunder, you might want to stay in the grass just for now. Oh, boy, we're going to need to go mark more territory, too. We'll hang out for a little bit here and see if we can spend some time with Sunset because we didn't get to do much during the day. So I think they are planning on doing a mobile version of AE as far as I know. I know they were talking about it early on at least, but I'm not certain. But I don't know what the plans are that now. I think they've said they want to finish this version of the game and all of that before they start working on mobile, which is fair because it's going to get a lot harder to continue to add content to AE if they're having to worry about mobile as well. It's easier to kind of do it when it's a package deal and done. So I don't know, though, if it's going to end up being the way that 2.7 mobile and computer can work together. We'll see, because phones have gotten more powerful, and I've been surprised. But I think at some point they do want to do something mobile. I'm just not sure what. Let's see. Yeah, mobile devices. I'm not sure. They have surprised me before. Snatch. But they do generally tend to have a hard time keeping up with computers in terms of raw power, so we'll see, because WolfQuest AE do be beefy. This is why we don't take anteaters for granted. We just all need our own personal anteater. I wonder if anyone throughout history ever considered that. Like, did they look at anteaters eating ants and go, man, we should domesticate these guys because they might help us? Like, we don't have domestic anteaters, but I wonder if that was ever a thought anybody had, and I wonder what the barrier to it was. If they considered it, because I'm sure ants have been a pest throughout history. I'm sure that them stealing food from people did not become a thing in modern times, so I wonder if anyone ever contemplated the idea of trying to domesticate anteaters as a solution to this problem. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. These things are iconic. Oh gosh. All the weird conversations we have on in the random accent changes. Giant claws and poor eyesights are a barrier. I think that's fair. That's fair. Anything with big claws is probably harder to domesticate. So, yeah. Yeah, okay, if they're fighting off jaguars, I genuinely don't know that much about anteaters. If they're fending off jaguars with their claws, I can probably see why we didn't domesticate them then. You want a pet dragonfly to eat the mosquitoes? Goodness, feel that. I need, like, personal dragonfly or bat or something to just fly around me at all times, because, well, to be fair, though, the last time I was outside, I actually only got 2 mosquito bites, which was not terrible considering that I have managed to get 40 in about 15 minutes before. It was genuinely impressive to me and everyone around me, and also the next few days kind of sucked. But I don't know if they've stopped liking me so much now that I'm an adult or what it was, but the last time I was outside, I only got 2 bites, so I'm counting that one a victory. If that could continue on, then that'd be great, because one of the good things about where I used to live was we really didn't have that many mosquitoes. But it's a lot more humid out in Wisconsin than in the desert, that is for sure. So there's a lot more mosquitoes and a lot more lakes for them to live in. Uh-oh, Moobot. Moobot. Be nice, Moobot. It's, sometimes a little overzealous. Rip. Oh, maybe. Bats are great. They're very cute for an animal that you do genuinely need to be very careful with, though. Like, bats are not as scary in terms of behavior as a lot of people think they are, but they are one of the species you have to be really cautious with because they can be a rabies vector, and that's something you don't want to play with. I don't know if anybody is around who remembers the time when I thought there was a chance I'd been bitten by a bat. And it turned out okay, I was fine, but I still had to go to the doctor just to be sure, because most bats don't bite, unless they are threatened or sick. And I didn't know what had happened. It was dark. I didn't see exactly what happened. And you can't always see if you've gotten a bite, which is why if you find a bat in the house, you're supposed to go to the doctor and have them look and possibly give you rabies shots because you don't want to screw around with it. So bats are adorable, but I heavily discourage anyone from trying to interact with them if you're not like a trained wildlife person who knows what they're doing and who's probably vaccinated against rabies. So... Oh, okay, yeah, it's probably move out detecting too much repetitive wording or something like that. Oh my goodness. Oh, I didn't know there was an ant-eating dinosaur. That's really cool. Oh, okay. Where are you? Where are you? Oh, they're this way, alright. Get! Take off your tail. Alright. Alright. Enough shenanigans. Stranger wolf time. Let's see. I think companionship effect does actually do quite a lot. It's just hard to apply it consistently, and it's not 100% effective, so even if you got perfect companionship, sometimes it doesn't do anything. Domesticated cats are pretty good for getting rid of bugs, but it really depends on the kitty. That can be true. My childhood cats were pretty good at hunting things, and Beanie actually liked to eat ants. It was so weird. Shadow hated the smell of them, but Beanie would eat them. He would, if you showed him an ant that you had squished, he would eat it. Shadow would just look at you with the same sort of disgust that she showed over citrus. But it does depend on the bug because, oh my goodness gracious, I love Evelyn, but she is not a hunter in any capacity. She really isn't. She wants to just gently play with it. Not long after I first got her, we had the only roach that I ever had in that old apartment in California. And I called her because I was like, Evie, please do something. This is a roach. I don't want to deal with this. And she just lightly chase it around, lightly batting it so that it would run when it stopped moving, and almost scared it into a place that I couldn't get it. So Evie is... I love that cat. I do not ask her to help me with bugs anymore. I have learned my lesson. Which is probably for the best, too, because some bugs are kind of dirty, and you don't necessarily want a cat that's eating anything it encounters. But yeah, it can depend on the cat, because I had another cat who was like my very early childhood cat, who, I kid you not, would open her mouth, sit there like a Venus flytrap, waiting for flies to fly by, and snatch them out of the air. I watched her do this, and it remains one of the most terrifying and impressive things I've ever borne witness to. I don't know how it worked, but it was a little bit scary. And she was a little bit scary, too. She was mean. But yeah, it just depends on the cat. Yeah, people are getting good at figuring out the predator attacks, huh? Somebody's gonna be winning on them. Oh my goodness. Your cats don't even try to catch mice. Oh goodness. Yeah, it can depend on the cat. Your dog eats ants. Some of them like the taste of it, I guess. Oh, okay. Oh, sunset's healthy. Oh, thank goodness we can sleep. Alright. That I'm glad for. 14%, but she's okay. We are tired, though, so I'm gonna take a big snooze. Alright. Yeah, I got the nickname Scrambled Egg Brain. Some cats don't have a rational thought in their heads. Some animals are just like that. I've come to understand. And then some of them are too smart, and you just look at them, you know they are thinking and they're good at it. Alright, I'm sleeping a little bit extra here because we stayed up much of the night, and so I want to make sure we get some extra sleep here. We do need to go mark the territory. I think we're gonna head over this way. We'll see. Are you coming with Typhoon? I guess, yeah, I would like Typhoon to come with us, actually, here, I think. Yeah, I'm so glad she healed, because I was kind of worried about sleeping again, because she was at 50 when we slept, and she lost 25 through one sleep. Yeah, territory is not vibing right now. Alright, we're gonna put this here, because this is close to our rendezvous site here. Yeah, okay. Oh my goodness. Let's go this way. Oh, is this an elk herd? This is an elk herd. It's bull elk. It's a single bull elk. That's a herd of one singular bull elk that wanders around here. Do I currently have any plans on when the next season of Ultra Iron Wolf will begin? So we're gonna take a break from Ultra Iron Wolf. We're actually gonna be doing the next challenge. I have to put together the polls for narrowing down, because we have one error for each litter, and we have 6 litters, so we have 3 more polls that we need to do. We're actually not going to do Ultra Iron Wolf probably until Saga gets here. I would like to retry the challenge once we have Saga. I think that would be really fun to do. But I do have another Iron Wolf challenge in mind that is possibly even harder than Ultra Iron Wolf, to the point where I'm considering playing it on challenging for the first run rather than going straight to accurate like we usually do for our Iron Wolf stuff. So, we'll see. I'm not 100% sure yet, but the other reason for Ultra Iron Wolf taking a little breather is because I have to manually create any wolf that I want to use for Ultra Iron Wolf, so you have to set all the stats to -2. Which I would like to give Maple's heirs some of the chance to, like, I'd like to be able to play with some of Maple's pups if we can, kind of let her legacy live on and continue there. So it's going to be a little bit, we'll start running those polls probably coming up here. But we'll start the next Iron Wolf challenge at some point soon here. I don't want to wait too long before we start the next season of that. Single bull elk are often weak. Huh, interesting. I did not know that. That does make sense, though, if they didn't end up staying with a herd. Alright, let's get water. If there's one thing Ultra Iron Wolf taught me, it's that you always get water when you have the chance. Let's see. Ultra Iron Wolf without a mate. Oh my goodness. That would be a heck of a challenge. I go back and forth on doing a mateless challenge because I think it would be really interesting. But I want to do this setup for, like, the setup for it has to happen right, because, I don't know, usually the way that it happens, if it doesn't happen organically, is that you then have to go and get rid of your current mate. And that's just not something that's easy to swing from a lore perspective. So I definitely want to do that. I'd do a single parent run at some point. I'm just trying to figure out how to set that up without it carrying unsettling lore implications. So it's something that's on the table now. I think there's at least one other challenge that I'd like to run before I do that, that I think will be really interesting. I'm not... Well, we've seen something kind of like it before, and considering how hard that something was, I think it's gonna be a ride. Yeah, probably that is what we would probably do, is we would just start in springtime with the assumption that something happened over the winter. Okay, this is a mule deer. This will give us some food. Oh, there's a bison carcass. Never mind, we don't even have to hunt. Ooh, yes please. I will take the free carcass, very, very much so. Yeah, mateless gameplay seems like it would be very wild. The few times that it's happened in a story has been incredibly hard. It is also one of those things that's difficult to continue for multiple seasons, though, like from a lore standpoint as well, because you have to carry the assumption that it keeps happening. It might also be something that we try at some point after Saga gets here, too, although it would be nice to achievement run it at some point. We'll see if that happens organically first. I guess I don't need to keep howling here. We're not in the territory that needs marking. And you, sir, why don't you go back? I love you, but our babies are gonna leave, so we need to prevent that from happening. But yeah, it's something I definitely would like to do a run of on, probably on purpose once we get Saga here too, because I think that'll make it a little bit easier to have that. I guess you'll get a longer, more organic playthrough rather than just spring start to finish, I guess. Yes, I'll take the free carcass. Yeah, so what they're saying, Slough Creek, or it does prevent you from starting Slough Creek with no mate, but what can happen is you can run your mate into a group of bison or something like that. A tragic accident that's a little bit less than accidental is usually how those runs go about being done on purpose. So that would be the non-canon behind-the-scenes setup, just like how Tempest had some litters that I just played off camera that don't count towards his canon pups, because canonically, to get him to the age he was supposed to be, he needed to be a few years older than the typical 2-year-old. So it would be that non-canon setup of you'd play through all of Amethyst Mountain, find a mate, something happens to the mate in winter, and then you pick up in springtime with the female having her pups, and then there's no mate. So that would kind of be what that is. That is a pretty cool shot. I might have to make it the thumbnail of us howling on the bison carcass. Saga would make Mateless Challenge be more linear. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking, is it would give you, like, you'd have effectively the full year to play through, or even maybe even more, probably even more than that, because assuming the pups stick around for more than a year, you could probably do 2 years with just growing up pups before they start to disperse, considering the game starts you off at 2 years, since that's about the age that wolves tend to disperse at. We ran past the scent post, because I'm not in scent view. I'm running around like a dork. So that's, again, it's something that we might do at some point. I'll probably wait to see if it happens on its own for the current achievement. I don't like necessarily going out of my way to get those kinds of achievements, but, when we get to Saga, we'll probably do a run like that. That's one of those challenges that I kind of put on the back burner until then. Yeah, it's a little bit of a tragic discussion, and again, that's like, this is the struggle that I've had with it, is it's not something that usually shows up very organically, and that always carries some implications if that gets included in canon in any capacity. So I'm like, we'll see if it happens naturally. And like, I definitely could see some of our wolves, if they ever end up without their mate, choosing to continue on their own, because even in Maple's case, she didn't necessarily want to find another mate right away. She only did it because she realized she couldn't, and that was because of just how hard her challenge was. She realized there was no other way she could have done it. And so it made more sense for her to try and seek out a mate, and that ended up being Midnight. But on some of our ones that aren't so inherently challenging constantly, it would be something that I could see a wolf choosing to carry on, raise the pups, and then return to look for another mate later, if the story even continues. In certain cases, that could be an ending. Especially once Saga's here, it could be an ending, we'll see. Listen, sometimes you have to do terrible, terrible things for the lore. It's just the way that it is, unfortunately. Goodness gracious. Oh, sometimes dispersals will show up and you can't tell if they're trying to court or if they're wolves that are gonna attack. That's frightening, yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we might have untagged that one, because considering this game talks regularly we have to hunt down and eat things, it may have untagged that word. Considering that we may have done that manually at some point, because most of the time people are using it in discussion of, you know, the wolves hunting things. So, let's see. For the drama of it, just, no, you're doing it to stop them from eating all the food. Oh my goodness. Goodness gracious. Yeah, what I've found with any of these challenges is if I'm gonna set up something from the lore standpoint, I have to kind of approach it more from the angle of, like, speedrunning, where, especially in 2.7, you don't want to end up with more than one pup, because that's gonna hinder the run, so I have to definitely pull myself away from doing any sort of a lore perspective on it. Otherwise, yeah, then I do get attached and it's too hard to do the challenge. Yeah, it's... Sometimes you have to be a storyteller. Sometimes you have to use the game mechanics to set things up. Oh yeah, I'm glad that the dispersal wolves will not attack your current pups. Now, I wonder too, I assume because WolfQuest tries very hard to achieve realism wherever possible, that real wolves, I guess, are maybe just that social. And I guess it does make sense that they are pack animals, so, you know, having grown pups would still provide a stronger pack for them eventually too. But I was kind of... I assume that must be something that real wolves do, or WolfQuest probably would just not have left it as an option. But it's very, very interesting for sure. I guess it probably is just more the social animal sort of aspect of things. Well, it's kind of the speedrunning thing. It's kind of just the natural conclusion for 2.7, because if you have to cart all 4 pups to the rendezvous site, that slows you down a lot. It's a lot easier to grab one and run. So, speedrunning and storytelling are not very compatible. If you were gonna tell a story through speedrunning, I guess we kind of ended up with a little bit of silly lore for Lightning and Thunder. But it's gonna end up being either a very brutal story or a very sillified story, kind of. Do I recommend a denless challenge? I think it is a fun challenge to take on. It can definitely be a tough challenge, so it's not... I wouldn't necessarily call it an easy one. There's some things about it that are easier and some things about it that are harder. You're not going to be able to maintain a very big territory. You are going to have stranger wolves constantly causing you problems. That's kind of just the nature of the challenge. Let's see. Real wolves won't harm a new mate's pups. Huh. That is definitely an interesting behavior. Yeah, I guess that probably is a real world thing then. Let's see. You heard the entire Alpha, Beta, and Omega pack theory was debunked by the very person who proposed it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the same person. I think was it David, is it Mac or Meech? Because I always said Mac, but I think the WolfQuest people say Meech, and I'm not known for my pronunciation. But the guy, I think that was the same guy I think that's the guy they're talking about, because he's a really well-known wolf biologist. And basically the reason that we originally got the Alpha, Beta, Omega theory that was so prevalent for so long, and that now folks like the WolfQuest folks and a lot of known biologists are trying to debunk and trying to depopularize, because it took off in pop culture, unfortunately. The reason that came to be is because the original studies were done on captive wolf packs, and what varies from captive wolf packs to normal wolf packs in most cases, wolf packs in captivity were often unrelated wolves that were thrown together that had to sort out a pecking order. And that does, to a degree, happen when you have a bunch of animals that are unrelated. They do have to figure out kind of what the pecking order is, who's on top, who's going to be more subordinate. It's just kind of what has to happen for everybody to play nicely. But you don't usually see that kind of unrelated formation in nature. Often that's not what happens. It's an anomaly when it does. Most wild wolf packs are comprised of parents and their offspring, and that creates a very natural pecking order where the parents are going to be dominant over the offspring, because, you know, they're the older, more experienced wolves, they're the parents. So it just happens on its own. So when we started studying wild wolf packs more, we realized, oh, okay, that's the captive wolf pack model. That's animals that are unrelated learning to sort out a dominance order, and so that they're not constantly fighting. So that's why that theory is being debunked. It's not 100% inaccurate because it is what was observed with captive wolves, but it's not the model that you're going to see in almost every case with wild wolf packs. Now, sometimes you will have a rare case when food is really abundant where you have a pack that has multiple breeding pairs, and in that case, you sometimes do have one pair that's more dominant. That's happened with the Druid pack. They at one point got so plentiful that they had multiple breeding pairs, and I think it was the Druid pack that Cinderella was from? Because there was that was her story, was her sister was part of the more dominant breeding pair, but Cinderella also had pups. And so you sometimes will see stuff like that happen where there is a more dominant breeding pair, and it's usually, you know, like a sibling. The two sisters both had pups in that case, etc. So it's not always 100% that it's just going to be one pair and their offspring, but most often that's the kind of model you're going to see. Not to go on a whole rant on this, but this is one of the things that I did research quite a lot because I grew up with WolfQuest and all of that. Oh yeah, the fleas, oftentimes I do end up kind of just going denless for a little bit. Goodness, Sunset, you just recovered. Please don't be this far away from the from the rendezvous site. Yeah, sometimes I will just leave a little bit extra early so that... Okay, she just flopped. So that I don't have to deal with the fleas and then go to the rendezvous site. So that can happen. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know that it was necessarily just because of movies like Alpha and Omega, but like it definitely played. I think that movie more likely came out of the phenomenon already existing than it causing the phenomenon necessarily, but it definitely contributed to it. Yeah, there's a lot of factors. I think a lot of werewolf media also contributed because they kind of from what I've heard, they kind of latched onto that as well, and it kind of just continued to perpetuate the myth as myths often are perpetuated. So, but yeah, basically, why a wolf pack consists of an alpha pair, which are the parents of the wolf pack, and the others are the children of the alphas. Yeah, that's why WolfQuest does say you're the breeding pair, sometimes known as alphas. They kind of tried to explain where that terminology was coming from. How are we doing here? Okay, Sunset's still at 18 pounds, so I don't think we're going to finish today. We probably will end up wrapping this up here because we are very tired and it's going to be time to end off. But next time we'll probably end up finishing out this litter, so that will be exciting. Yeah, Sunset did feel better. I immediately go, it's time to adventure. Yep. Okay. Yeah, and I think, like, too, when that was the science, a lot of old documentaries did perpetuate that, too, by referring to them as alphas and whatnot, even though now we're kind of like, oh, we were misinterpreting this behavior. And that's the thing about science, you guys. I've said this before. I'm going to say it again. Science is not absolute. Science is the study of absolutes. It's our understanding, and our understanding is fallible. We have observed things. This is a perfect example of us observing something, not quite understanding it, and then realizing as we got to understand it a little bit more that our initial understanding was flawed. So there are absolutes. Our world is grounded in absolutes. And science is the study of those rules that make it tick. But we are just trying to understand them. We don't always get it right. And so that's why I don't believe we should... Okay, that's why I don't believe we should treat science as infallible fact, because even though it is... No, Thunder, go back in the grass. Thunder, go back in the grass. Even though it is the study of stuff that is absolute, it's our understanding of it. And that's not always perfect. So you always want to take science as this is our understanding of it from what we see now. That could change. It might not be totally accurate. It might be something that we come to understand better in the future. Just because something is touted as scientific doesn't necessarily mean that our understanding of an absolute fact is an entirely accurate representation of that absolute fact. I guess is what I'm trying to say here. Yeah, it's the study of absolutes. That's how I always try to handle it. Sorry, not to do this right at the very end, but yeah, coyotes are not going to interrupt my soapbox mode. No, nobody thought this would happen. Oh my goodness. Rip. Can't win twice, or can't win 3 times, I suppose. Alright, similar to what happened with Spinosaurus. It went from T-Rex with a sail to a semi-aquatic croc-newt with a tail fin. Yeah, that's especially, like, as we're trying to understand prehistoric stuff that we haven't observed in person, it gets even harder. Even the study of ecosystems and animals that we have modern today is not perfect because we don't understand 100% all of the time. Yeah, we're gonna end off, so no worries about a new prediction here. Yeah, coyotes had to get in one final attack here. No science is always right, I'm gonna have your children. Oh my goodness, yep. That's what they thought. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and leave this off here for today, though, because it is getting to be about that time again. Don't forget to check in on September 10th if you are watching this live. I don't know if the VOD will be up by then. It's kind of behind on posting the VODs, I'm sorry. But if it is, then we're hopefully going to be doing this on the 10th at 2 p.m. Central Time. Even if not, definitely stay tuned because we're hoping to do another event later in the month. We just don't have it scheduled yet. And of course, it's September, so if you're going to subscribe on Twitch, now's a good time to do it for a little bit cheaper for this month at least and have the chance to get in on those events, or at the very least watch them, even if we have too many people for everybody to play. But we'll go ahead and leave this here for today, so thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube, and drop a follow at JZX535 on Twitch so that you can see when we are next going live. But I will see you guys next time, and until then, this is Jay, over and out.